This was the first thing I ever made, and it had embroidery on it, a Dresden plate, which is applique. I did squares to practice seam meeting for quilting, binding, first attempt at binding, and decorative stitches. I'm showing this to you because the circle on this Dresden plate is what I did to show you. And I just put it on there and did a blanket stitch around it. And there's my decorative stitch, my binding. Playing with the corners of fabric, learning how to make sashing with corners and borders with corners. And embroideries. Now this is really old. And there, if I can get the camera to focus, it's applique stitch, a blanket stitch around the Dresden plate. But that circle is what, hello, I really most wanted to talk about, and how simple it is to make it. I have hooped some Floriani no-show mesh, and you see the non-shiny side is on the bottom. And this is, if you can see it, is the shiny side, the adhesive side. So I've hooped it for this example. I'm now going to stitch out, which I have digitized, a tack down, a placement stitch, and a tack down. The placement is this stitch here, the red. The tack down is green. And I'm going to stitch those out. There's the placement. I'm going to just kind of center. Now I can feel the threads. I can feel the threads under the fabric, so I know I am over it. If you're not sure, hold it up to the light and you can see the thread behind it. Now I'm going to tape it down and we're going to stitch it. I'm going to tape it right side down. Okay, now I'm going to stitch the tack down stitch. What we've got here is the unhooped stabilizer and our circle. Here's the bottom of it. You see the black placement and the white tack down. So I'm going to trim around this white circle and take you to the next step. You don't have to trim perfectly. There it's trimmed. Now if you don't have an embroidery machine, trace a circle on these two fabrics. Now I'm going to try to pull them apart. And you don't have to be perfect on this. Okay, there I just took a little niche out of it. Cut it. Cut it. So this is what we've got now. Oops. Okay, we're going to turn this inside out. I'm not real good at this. So I'm going to turn it out and I'll show you what happens next. Okay, I'm starting to now get this hem out into the circle area. And just finger pressing. Here are some finished ones that I did for the Dresden plate upstairs. And all you have to do is just finger put it. Now I did these about 10 years ago. So I'm just going to finish with this. And this mesh is really, really strong. Don't worry about tearing it. It's like it doesn't want to tear. So it's really strong. Don't be afraid of turning this out, inside out, right side out. And you can make it as perfect as you like or whatever. Then on the Dresden plate, what you do is put it on your plate. Say the Dresden plate is here. You put it on the plate over the top of the Dresden pieces and you iron it. That's all you do. And then do an applique stitch or hand stitching, whatever you like. Mine was applique. I like doing the blanket stitch. And you can get this off the internet. These are the instructions. But download them off the internet for free at the Floriani site. So there you have how to do a circle painlessly. What you think? I just want to let you know, if I'm doing this on an embroidery machine, I'll use my larger hoop and I will hoop these with only, oh, I don't know, 1/4 to 1/2 inch apart. And then I'll put down one sheet of fabric to cover the whole, all the planned circles. And I'll do the placement stitches. Then I cover it with a sheet of fabric face down. And then I do the tack down. Then I'll unhoop it and cut them all loose like you just saw me do with the orange one. And I'll save that for another project. And again, you don't have to stitch these. I mean, they'll stay. You can, but I don't. Okay, so you can get, oh, I don't know how big your hoops are, but say 6 to 8 circles from one hooping if you use your large hoop. Make sure your tack down stitch is set to about a 2 to 2.5. Okay, thank you for watching.